So, Eleucina. This is the Ogre battle. Now, this is the struggle for me, and probably many people. I mean, the last part isn't easy, but this is definitely the one where you have very little room to work with. Basically, the way this works. You're going to have a big Ogre that spawns in the middle. He's invulnerable shielded until you take basically a buff that you get 4 times of. When you get all 4, you get a buff. You take it to one of these little urns, and you dunk it, and you have a certain amount of time to do damage to the boss. Now, what spawns in the room so you can do that? Basically, you've got 4 pieces. Back, middle, right, left, and right, basically where I'm standing. In each one of those sections, you will have 5 things that spawn. First, 4 wizards spawn, 1 in each section of the room, front, back, left, and right. Then, you will have 2 vandals and 2 goblins that spawn in each section. Now, all of this is taken, no surprise there. Taken goblins will do their invulnerability beam. Taken vandals will snipe you, and these really hurt. I mean, they just do. But you've also got their shielding effect. Now, the wizards, what you're going to set up for them is going to be lowering their shield, getting them to almost the lowest pit of damage you can on the first 3. First 3, I'm talking about the front of the room, basically below my feet, to the right and to the left. When you set those up at very, very low damage, you're basically ready to start a damage run. For me, at least, this is how I do it. So I get each of those wizards down as absolutely low as possible. So I get the one on the right very, very low. I get the one in the middle very, very low. And I usually do my work between these 2 first. So it's on this little pillar, is kind of your safe spot. Once these 2 are low, I'll shimmy over here to the left, use this pillar as my cover. And again, it's a very small piece of cover, but it's cover. I will work on the adds over here if I haven't already gotten them. I will work the wizard down on very low health. Once that wizard is down to a sliver, to basically where I pop the shield and it dies, is kind of what I go for. Then you're basically ready to start a damage phase. When you kill a wizard, it drops a relic, orb, whatever you want to call it. It drops something you have to go basically touch. You don't have to specifically hold E on it like to pick it up, but it is one of those things you pick it up and it gives you a buff. When you pick it up, you have 45 seconds to get the next one. I will kill the first one here underneath my feet. Have it drop the orb. Pick it up, I've got 45 seconds. Turn, head over here, get my cover, and this one on the left will be pretty much close to dead. Pop its shield, it dies. Run over, pick that one up, that's 2. Then, as my super will be void, and you'll have plenty of time to get your super. Trust me, there's no rush in here. I'll run to the back. Hopefully I've killed most of the adds. If not, kill a couple, use my super, drop that one. Now, from that point again, when you pick up the orb, it drops, you have another 45 seconds, but you'll be at a 3 stack. At that point, I run over here to the right-hand side from at least where I'm standing. I get confused when I go in the big circle. At least it's just hard to say orientation, clockwise, counterclockwise. Just depends on literally where you're facing. But I'll hit the last one over here, pick up the orb, and then you have 45 seconds to dunk your buff. So when you have 4, the buff will change names, and you're going to go put that buff into right here. One of those, usually on the side that you're on, is a preference because the ogre is going to be wandering down the middle, so you don't want to try and cross all the way to the other side. I mean, you could try. I wouldn't advise it, though. When you do this, orb dunking, or your buff dunk, the shield on the ogre drops. Now, one of the first things the ogre does is it shoots out 4 axiom bolts. They are going to hurt. If you're by yourself, they'll basically kill you unless you're standing in a well of radiance. So, warlocks, you guys have an advantage. Also, you get the bonus from Well of Radiance. Not all of us are lucky. All of those pieces aside, there's another set of wizards that spawn. They're kind of like a backup. So say I kill the one on the right, kill the one on the left, and kill this one. Well, say I killed the one on the right too soon and I didn't get his orb. Well, you're going to have a short amount of time between your 45 seconds from when you killed the previous one to have a set of adds and a wizard to kill. But they're towards the front of the room, so you're going to want to do your damage towards the back of the room. That's kind of a key. Once the ogre's shield is back up, you basically rinse and repeat the whole thing. So what I'm going to try and do, there's probably going to be some deaths involved, is to get a full damage phase shown to you guys, get back into cover, and then at that point, I can take that clip, leave it out there for you guys, and if you're with a group, you can do all the damage in there if you want. If you can one-phase it, cool, or you just rinse and repeat that phase. We'll see if I can get this all done, but to solo it, you got to finish this whole thing. So we're going to see what Thunderlord does for damage. because I'm hoping between being able to fire at the Axiom Bolts and still keep my damage on him, I can be a lot more efficient with my Rally Barricade. Somewhat heavy ammo dependent, but most things on killing this Ogre solo are very heavy ammo dependent, so we'll see how this goes. Alright, long-winded intro aside, you guys are still here, so awesome. We're going to head down to this right pillar, so here we go. Alright, so when you land, big Ogre boy is going to spawn in the middle. Your pieces of cover are literally these two. Right here against this little thing right here, depends on what adds. And then right over here, also depending on adds. Now, that Ogre is going to do his little push, and it's annoying. So first the wizards are going to spawn, then you're going to have your adds. Now the adds are something you really want to focus on quick. Heads up, there's a good reason. Lots of stuff will kill you fast. And this is where doing a solo run in here, flawless? Ouch. I mean, a flawless run either way is ouch, but this one definitely is rough. Alright, Guardians, so waiting on the Ogre to spawn. Your pieces of cover are this right here, which you can kind of crouch around, still having some cover from the Ogre, but the wizard and adds can be up here. Wizards spawn next, one on the left, one in the middle, and then the adds are shortly behind. Now, depending on where your adds spawn in and what spawns in, you may have some that can see you out here, you may have some adds straight up ahead. And if you're getting tagged by other things, try and move. And you'll notice this goblin here is a bit of an issue. So, until everything but the wizards are dead, these adds are going to be something you have to watch out for. That's a bad spot for heavy. So there's a vandal like right over somewhere doing a little sniping action. There he is. Alright, so main focus, first clear your adds. The wizards you can basically just line of sight and move around. Also watch the Ogre. As soon as he finds you, it's trouble. Now that vandal has a goblin shielding him, so I'm pretty much kind of doomed. But also if I creep too far over the other way, I can't do much. Now to get up here, technically I can see the goblin here. Or I can just get vaporized instantly, and that happens too. Yeah, that's why a solo flawless on this one is... I'll be happy with a solo. Solo flawless is... Man, that is... Whew. You are on point the whole time. Alright, Guardians. So your cover, once the Ogre spawns, is these little pillars. So you got this little box and the bottom of this column, and you pretty much just float back and forth between them. Wizard spawns next. I mean, they have a void shield, so do with that as you will. And then you have adds that spawn. You may have some that come out of this wall behind you. You may have some weird angles. You'll notice these adds kind of shift. So it really depends on the angles. So you'll notice I have this little tight piece of cover, but if any of these adds walk right up here in front of me, now they can hit me from here. They will eventually do that, or it's just going to be the wizard. Turn back around, the adds might be over here. Or I might be able to pick off a couple of these guys. Goblins most really annoying because they will do their invulnerability shield. And you pretty much always have to be aware of what's around you. That's the tough spot. If he does a bubble of annoyance, which they didn't do for a certain period of time. They do that now. So if I know all the adds behind me are down, I can stand here until I see anything pop in front of me, and I will be safe. Same vice versa over here. If I'm over here and the wizard pops out, that's the only thing that's really going to tag me. But I've got a vandal who has a goblin shielding him. Now the only real way to get to this one is try and come up here, try and figure out what's in between. I'm going to see if that grenade does any good. Well, that did be something. Now, when I say drop the shield, this is why I'm using my bow. Is because I can drop the shield in 2 pops. As long as you can keep tagging them, you might be able to keep that shield down, whittling away the damage you need. You might even be able to hit a horn. But basically, I'm just trying to get that health down to a sliver. Tiny little baby bit. Now, the wizard up there behind me may be doing some stuff, so I gotta hide cover. So that one's down. Vandal's somewhere out there. See, that's the wizard. If it does show, watch the shots. But you can also start tagging this one from range too. And again, it can be a slow process, but patience is a virtue in here. You're also going to start to notice there's adds on that far side over there doing some stuff. You're eventually going to head over there, so you're going to want to take care of those at some point. The Ogre is kind of a giant annoyance. And again, that wizard can move around. If it does, it can also shift back really quickly, which is quite fun. So if all that's going at you, you really don't get to do much. So check out up here. And again, the wizard will try and shift. Watch this wizard behind me who's pretty close. Now I've got a vandal. I've got a goblin over there that I need to take out. Now that ogre just won't out and out kill you, but what the ogre is going to do is basically push you like out of cover, and then you're likely to get something completely covered. Oh yeah, this is definitely going to be, if it's a good clean damage phase, I will put this up on YouTube for sure. That's why I'm literally doing most of this run, is this phase right here, because that's the biggest ask, is this guy right here. He's the hardest one. So once you get low, switch over to something where you can whittle the damage. And I want him pretty low. He's pretty close. And of course, he's being all shifty and cover. Notice this wizard can also be in view. Now if I tag him, he usually hides. That one is pretty much good. If I pop the shield explosion with void is going to kill it. So that's kind of a thing. So now here, you're going to be looking for the adds on the other side. And that ogre is part of the fun part. So it's trying to find a space. There you go. See, like the vandal over there, goblins, vandal. Try and melt all those guys down so when I switch sides, I'm not going to get like tagged from a side. Now, if you really want to work on this guy a little bit, you can get an angle about right here if it gives you a chance. Not always easy. And you always have to watch yourself on this side. So running towering barricade can be beneficial here for like the damage phases. Or if you can kind of get a decent angle here, maybe. So I probably have one more shield break on that one to the right, but it's pretty close too. I've done this many, many times, so. So that one's pretty much perfect. So you saw how much health dropped when I broke the shield. The one in front of me is pretty much set up. So now I need to transfer to the other side of these columns and set up the other side of the room. Grab a little ammo on the way. I really would like some heavy in all of this at some point. Oh, I do have some heavy over here. Beautiful. So you notice how the ogre is going to push you a little bit. Now, for whatever reason, this side is weird for cover. The wizard can still come in front, but I feel like the wizard creeps a little far over behind. So you really got to watch your back on this one. Now, not all adds are dead. Just got to try and pull wizard up. Get him to look at me for a second. Try and find cover. And this is where it gets just so tight. Like, I can't move in the back, which I can barely almost get tagged. Can't move in the front. There are just some times where you just don't have the cover. The ogre's hitting you. The wizard's hitting you. A lot of things going on at the same time. And you can't do much about it. And you notice this one pushes a little farther forward. And I'm almost at a point where that was stupid. So, that guy behind me is about as close as it gets. Ogre's up there, and the wizard is up here in front. And this is a point where if the wizard's on my butt, I gotta hide my cover here. Barely close enough to where I can avoid the ogre. So that's another time. Try and whittle the shield down, see if I can get it low enough. Okay, that's pretty much perfect. Alright, so 3 out of 3 wizards are set up. So now, here's the fun part. And I'm going to pick up some heavy on the way, which is good. See how much damage that does. Super is also up. So basically at this point, what I like to do is kill this wizard in the middle area as close to me as I can so I don't have to run very far. And that'll be the start of the phase. So, damage phase initiating pretty much right now. So that's your that's your little icon. Take a second if you need to grab some cover. You got 45 seconds. It's longer than you think. Then, figure out where the wizard's at. Can't actually find him. This is cool. You do need to kill him, so watch your cover. You still got some time. Don't wait too long to pick it up, though, but wait till he actually stops firing. There you go. Find your cover, and then now we're going to start with these guys in the back. Now, if you don't have that much time or you feel like you're in a pinch, you can use your super to drop these guys down. But me, if I can take him out without the super, it just makes things a little better. The goblin would be annoying because he can actually make your wizard immune. So you got 27 seconds. Alright, so there's my third pickup. I'm going to transfer over. And now I've got 33 seconds to drop this guy. Shield is almost down. So I just need to basically shoot it once or twice. There you go. So that one is down. So now I just got to go grab it in about 20. Make sure I got some cover. Make sure the ogre's not hitting me. There we go. Grab it. Now, at this point, you can do this in two places. I'm going to try and do it in the front so I have the back to work with again. And the main thing is you got to manage that wizard actually coming to me. So I'm actually going to try and do the front phase this time, because he's actually right behind this little pillar and I can do this really quick. So here, and he'll usually blast you back a little bit. And then once he stops, he's going to start those. And there's my rally barricade. So we're going to see how much damage I can do with this thing. So you got those. That's the nice thing about Thunderlord, is I can do all this damage pretty quick. Still manage the Axiom Bolts without too much worry. And dump a lot of damage into them. So that's half. Everything will respawn again. Now I just have to hope for some heavy ammo drops. Everything. Wizards, adds, all of it spawns in again. Watch your cover, watch your angles. Move around for a second so you're not standing still. And there's some heavy, that's nice. Got a vandal out at the end, he's going to shield. And we're back where we were, and you just have to do it again. Thunderlord actually worked pretty well. Decent amount of ammo. I could have gone in here with a little bit more, but that's still a pretty good run. And then now we just have to do the same thing and not die. Well, if those guys are all going to sit together, I'm just going to grenade everybody. Not killing everything, but I got a few shots. So that's phase one. So if you guys, that is what you pretty much have to do as many times as it takes. So manage your adds, manage your angles, get the wizards low, do a full circle, and kill the boss however you can.